shit. She's got a dick back with him. Hey! Listen. If you don't want to hear any spoilers, come back and watch this another day. This is spoiler heavy. And not just regular heavy like me. If you don't care about spoilers, come on in. If you do, beat it, Chico. Hey guys, Steak Sauce here from the Off the World podcast. Come on in. We're talking horror. I know it's been a while. I missed you guys. Did you miss me? I don't think so. I'm sure you didn't. I was inspired, you can say, to come back. Halloween Kills opened this past weekend. I'm not sure when I'll get this up. I'm recording this on the Saturday after its release. The 16th of October, in the year of the Lord 2021. And saw it opening night, and I hated it. I was miserable. I wanted to leave like 10 minutes in. I didn't leave. I don't think anything could make me leave the theater. If it was something good enough to get me through the door, I'm going to give it a shot. But God damn it, if this wasn't close a couple different times. And unfortunately, as great as this shirt looks, great as this shirt feels, shout out to Fright Rags. Fucking great job as always. I wasted $30 on a shirt. I can't wear this again. It's embarrassing. I'm only wearing it in this video so I can at least get 2 uses out of it. I legitimately might sell this fucking thing and just get it just out of my sight forever. But anyway, Halloween Kills opened in theaters and Peacock on October 15th, 2021 with a budget of roughly $20 million. Couldn't find any hard numbers, which is fine. It's close enough to get something. And since this is still opening weekend as I record this, I don't know what the fuck it's made at the box office. It's not really important that I know or that you guys know, to be totally honest. So who gives a shit, I guess, right? Early reports, though, is that they pulled in $4 million, I think, on Thursday night, which is only like $3 million less than 2018. And 2018 wasn't released in a pandemic or any of that fucking shit. So it's doing probably basically as well as the other one did, all things considered, which isn't great. It's not a good thing because that means, and by the looks of shit, it looks like we might end up with a third movie in this series. It's very much like the second movie in this timeline, rather, This movie was fucking awful, but there was some good, so let's get to it. They did a great job kind of capturing the feel of 78, I thought. I thought the lighting, the filters that they threw on the camera really did kind of, at least without having the original to put up, on screen, to the screen or whatever, it seemed to match pretty well. I did like that. It was cool to see like the original mask or a very close approximation of. I think that's a different gentleman in the under the mask, in the jumpsuit, all that shit. It's not James Jude Courtney there. I don't think. I think the guy. I thought I saw a young Michael, which would mean 21-year-old Michael. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't think so. And they still did well, but there's a weird thing. I didn't note it in the Talkin Horror for Halloween 2018, but there are certain times, and I'll get to it more in depth a little later, but there are certain times where just Michael makes these weird movements that I don't know if they are editing choices, because it's almost like there's a half a beat cut out of when he turns, which really just makes him move too fast. Or maybe it's like the actor choice, and that's bad too. Because he's slow most of the time. James Jude Courtney did great as far as that goes most of the time, and I figure he was, if he's not under the mask there, which I don't think he is, I'm sure he was kind of the advisor. But it's too quick. I get Michael's deliberate, but he's slowly deliberate. He's not going to snap around. I don't know why I feel the need to act out the fucking, the motions on screen, but here we are, I guess. Fairfox to the Donald Pleasance deepfake, though. I thought that looked great. Both in theater and on a TV screen. Not TV screen, I was able to get a little closer to it to kind of examine it, and it does look pretty good. The voice is still just off enough that it irks me. The same as in 2018. Even though there's probably a better term for it, there's a weird uncanny valley thing going on with the voice, which oddly enough I don't get. My mind doesn't trigger that with the actual CGI, the visual. I did like Michael protecting himself from the fire with that garage overhead door thing. Actually, a little bit of smart writing, I guess. I don't know. I've never been in a fucking inferno, so I don't know how well that would actually keep you protected. On top of the fact that the fire department was pretty much right on top of things. So, obviously that was his way out. They fucking pulled him up and then he killed him. You've seen the movie. Yeah, you're going to wait to see me find my notes. I don't give a shit. This movie doesn't deserve me really painstakingly editing. Although you guys do, so, sorry, but fuck this movie. But anyway, that whole thing, it kind of shows the hubris, the overconfidence that Laurie had in her little trap that she set up. That's seemingly a big oversight on her behalf, and she's just a fucking. Basically, as much as I liked Laurie and thought she was a smart kind of, together individual in Halloween 78, clearly they wanted to just write the fuck out of there. So she's an idiot, and this kind of highlights that she's just some fucking hillbilly with a decent amount of money to fucking, rig a house. But whatever. Moving on. Most of the kills are pretty good. I'd say solid at worst. They did manage to do that decently, which, they could have fucked that up too. Nothing really stood out, which maybe is a bad thing, I guess. Besides Cameron's death towards the end, which that was fucking amazing. But, spoilers. We'll talk more about that further on in the video, and that's the wrong way, I think. This will probably look stupid to you as if I'm motioning backwards, but I don't care. So the second mental patient, the misdirect, everyone, that whole the mob at the hospital. Yeah, there were fucking too many people in the hospital. It really didn't make any sense. But that misdirection was cool at first. The idea is great. It 100% should have ended with the mob actually beating him to death. You know, as fucking nuts as that sounds, but I think that would have much better kind of driven that wariness of the mob mentality home. A lot better than just having him fucking jump. Like, I guess it works. I mean, unless they're drawing parallels to the way those awful people on Twitter treated sweet baby Angel August Ames, leading to her eventually committing suicide. Now, if that's what they went for, it's it's a total win. But I know they weren't, and frankly, that's sad. More people should speak up about that. Having Lindsay Wallace from the first one, the grown up, the Kyle Richards, who is apparently a Real Housewife. Weird. Well, I actually liked her. I don't actually have that written anywhere. I didn't think to. I thought she was fine. She definitely was probably the best used of like the returning actors. And returning characters too. We'll get into that more further on. But I like that she was actually successful in hiding from Michael. It's kind of shocking, really, because that trope has been beaten to death as much as any other. I'm hiding from the killer. Hopefully, he won't hear me. Oh, good, he's gone. Oh no, he's not gone. you know, and so it's great. And I got to kind of commend them for that because they broke that fucking cycle and that stupid trope, at least for now. I kind of hope, it's fine. If she dies any further on from there, it's whatever. It's part of the story. It's great. Terrific. Speaking of other characters in this, Judy Greer was fine. Not as good as she was last time around, but I still liked her. Other than that, you want your mask. It's not as cringe-inducing as it was in the trailer. There's a little more nuance in it, but not much. It's still pretty bad. But Allison, still kind of a badass. I think even more so. Obviously she's not. She couldn't handle that big fucking gun, but I laughed out loud. I was, just as an aside, I was high as fuck when I saw this Thursday. I've watched it again since, and not much has changed opinion wise, but I just fucking that made me laugh. Some of the dialogue we'll talk about later on made me just like out loud laugh and hard. It's kind of embarrassing. Like I brought people to this. Just fucking, I'm ranting a little bit now. It's whatever. I brought people to see this fucking movie. Yeah, they were interested in the first place, but I like me going, hey, let's go see this is kind of me putting my fucking stamp on this movie, which is something I don't do a lot. I have to have like a lot of faith to say, hey, you need to go see this or, anything close to that. And immediately was embarrassed. Like I'm just fucking, like I said, I wanted to be anywhere else. Anyway, back to Allison. I liked her. I think Andy Matich's pretty solid as an actor. She's probably the only like last fucking bit of shining light on this timeline, for this set of Halloween movies. So I'm interested at least a little bit to see what she does in the last one. Hopefully it's the last one. Speaking of people making it into the last movie, great to see that Officer Hawkins did survive. The way they wrote that, they were able to kind of get to him and, save him so he can be around. And I liked him as a potential hero in 2018. and that fucking got stomped out by that shitty doctor. I fucking hate Danny McBride a lot. Fuck him. He sucks. He's not funny and he can't write a fucking movie. Fuck him. I honestly, I want some fucking Me Too shit to come out for that guy. Fuck him to death. But anyway, I hope Officer Hawkins does at least have a hand in the resolution of this whole fucking series. Now, that's about all I could fucking pick out for good. And I know even as I'm trying to praise things, I was pretty goddamn negative. But, only a couple days in, everything's still pretty raw. And that's just how it is. But that's all the good. Fucking out of the way. That's all I've got. So let's get on with the fucking bad. Now, as much as I like Greer and Matichik, in this, just as much as I did in 2018, Jamie Lee Curtis went way the fuck downhill in this one. Like, she talks like a fucking hillbilly anytime Hawkins is in the room. Like she turns into fucking Roseanne Connor. And she's hardly in this movie, which, if you saw her tweets, from the time the first trailer released on up to, I guess, even press time now, fucking, we're going to take it to them, we're going to fight, and this is a big showdown. And you were in the hospital the whole time. Fuck off. That's incredibly fucking disingenuous. And she should be embarrassed. She should apologize for that. That's fucking ridiculous. And to that end, like, when she's on screen, she seems even less like the Laurie that was in Halloween 78. Even less so than she did, in 2018. Like, she's hardly in this piece of shit. And, like, half of it is just her being unconscious, whether it's just in the recovery room after the surgery or the fucking surgery that we spent 3 minutes in. I've never seen them just kind of more or less hard focus on a surgery in a horror movie before like that. Like even in Rob Zombie's H2, it's kind of like quick cuts to, oh, they're moving her to surgery, and then maybe some fucking quick cuts to some, like, to them, like, sewing her up or some shit. But they just got her open and fucking, like, the forceps are just pulled back like a fucking frog in a, in a science classroom. What the fuck? Also, I don't ever want to hear the fucking word boogeyman or the phrase evil dies tonight again. As long as I fucking live, shut the fuck up. Jesus fucking Christ. This thing might kill me right here. I might die before I get this out. Just in case. Whoever finds this, please upload it to my channel. Everything, you're logged in. Just hop on. Go nuts. The shit with the child version of Lonnie seemed really out of place for this movie. Like, tonally, just everything. Nothing, it didn't fit. Like, it seemed like it was out of Rob Zombie's Halloween. Like, did he come in to write this fucking scene? It's garbage. Like, that's not this Haddonfield. Like, you wrote that for fucking, like, if the kids are mean. It's not that, I'm against the meanness of children. In fact, I promote showing what they're really like and then having them killed. I've said it before, this. But this was bad. It didn't fucking fit. It was stupid. But I should be used to that at this point. I mean, the dialogue in the last one wasn't great, but this one's worse. I saw it on Twitter. Someone did say this on Twitter, and not that I've seen every fucking movie that's come out this year, but this, I think, has to be, if not the worst dialogue in any movie of 2021, it's in the top 5. easily in the top 5. This shit wouldn't get past the writers of Scary Movie. That's a fucking parody of horror movies. Like, here's a couple examples. What is it? After the firemen all get murdered, which I didn't write this down. I forgot to, but so I'll get to that quick and we'll come back because I don't want to forget this. It's important that I get this in here. The fight scenes, the kill scenes, like when it's Michael versus several, are fucking dumb because it's like Sting versus the NWO. It's like, hey, I've got one bat. All right, well, we got 50 guys. We'll send them one by one. What? Mob him. You're a mob. Fucking tackle him and rip his arms off. Just pull him until he fucking doesn't move anymore or until he's in several pieces. Yeah, that's tough to do and maybe a little outlandish, but it's not impossible. Rip at his fucking flesh, start pulling fucking chunks of flesh off. I don't care. Knock him down and then fucking stab him in the throat. Anything but you go. Hey, now you go. All right, now you. Damn it. You. Well, I'm not going, so you go. What the fuck? But anyway, back to the dialogue. There are a couple examples. After the firemen, like I said, I think after they were killed, someone gets on the little walkie-talkie, I guess. I'm fucking dumb. You know that. Leave me alone. His name is Michael Myers. Go get him. Huh? The lady on the news report. This was a safe place and now it's not anymore. Maybe that's like a commentary on overreactions to things in the moment. But it's such a written line. Like in a fucking kid's play. And then when Nurse Chambers is in the car, she pulls out her little fucking gun. He goes, "This one is for Dr. Loomis." It's so bad. And then what makes it even more like a scary movie thing is that she says that and then the gun just clicks because she's out of ammunition. So it's funny, but this isn't a comedy. And that's not a time to put levity into something. Michael is out and killing, and then anything involving Laurie and Officer Hawkins was just like cringy. Let's see here. Now, going back to the beginning of the movie, I don't think there's a cop alive that takes the shot that Hawkins does in 78, with that being another officer, probably even a civilian. I'm no cop. I don't really know any cops, but everything I've ever read or seen, that's if you can't, fucking take a clean shot, you don't take it. So it's just like a shitty moral conflict, convoluted one at that they wrote in just to have something, especially when they could have just used Hawkins stopping Loomis from, shooting Michael in the back of the head at point blank range, which wouldn't have killed him based on this movie's fucking physics. They could have just used that, and they kind of did, but they could have that could have been the big thing that he was like, oh, I should have let him kill him all those years ago. But they didn't. And so many poor choices. Like at every fork in the road, they picked the wrong fucking path. Like consistently. It's almost like a cause for fucking applause. And how do you go so wrong? They're like fucking 1 day or 1 or 2 days of not filming anything and not being able to recreate the shit that they didn't get on film from being Children of the Living Dead bad. This movie sucks. I'm curious. Once this gets out, once I put this out, I might go looking for like positive opinions and positive reviews. I can't see a way that people like this. Like, friend of the show, Pizzo, said that his only real thing going in was as long as I have a good time, as long as I'm entertained, I'll be happy with this. I think my expectations were even lower. So, like, as long as I liked the movie more than I liked 2018, I was going to be happy. Because 2018 in the moment entertained me. So, like, just be better than that because that's a shitty movie too, and they were somehow worse, and not like a little bit. This movie's a lot worse than Halloween 2018. You had an extra year. Anyway, there's some like casting issues. Like Anthony Michael Hall was an awful choice to be Tommy Doyle. Um, I'm not gonna shit on the guy because he did as well as one could do with the shit he was given. Um, but he just wasn't the guy for the role. He didn't fit. You know, he's he suffers unfortunately from being a child actor or at least like a teen actor or whatever. But all I see when he talks is Weird Science and Breakfast Club. Like that's it. Um, and so that takes me out of it, and I'm sure I'm not the only one. There's no fucking way I'm the only one on that. I don't know. I just like he seems too big to be Tommy Doyle. Tommy Doyle doesn't strike me as a large guy. I think Paul Rudd was probably perfect for it. I think he turned the role down. I think they did offer it to him. I wish he would have accepted it. Although it's very smart not to. He probably read the script and was like, "What are you fucking crazy? My shitty movie was better than fucking this. Are you kidding?" And then he went and said, "Hey, look at us." No, he didn't. Robert Longstreet was wasted here. The role of adult Lonnie. He's so much better than what he was asked to do. It's pretty awful. He's got a quick little role that's similar but still better in Doctor Sleep. We don't see a lot of him. That movie's 2 years old, so I should be able to spoil it, but I won't. Oh, you know what? No. Well, you're not expect. Fuck it. He does well in that movie in a similar role. That's bar none. And he's fucking fantastic in Haunting of Hill House. He has like his whole fucking like monologue that's one take. Like fucking mind blowing a little bit. And that fucking peyote story was out of place and stupid as all fuck. And speaking of stupid as all fuck, Jesus Christ, the Johns were horrendous. It's like top 2 or 3 worst parts of the movie. Like, what awful writing to even put these actors in the movie, or these characters rather. And I mean, like, you got Michael McDonald, so at least a facsimile visually to the other cat, who's pretty awful. Ike Barinholtz. Then at least you got you remember Mad TV? Like this is that little fucking thing you could have and kind of hold on to. But because Ike's a better actor anyway. But like this is like case in point as to why you do not let a shitty comedy writer write a horror movie. At least not one of any fucking substance. Or one with the fucking history. Basically, don't fucking. If he wants to write an evil Bong movie, fucking let him. But Halloween, Halloween's too big time for that fucking pile of dog shit. Because let's face it, he wrote all these returning fucking characters, beloved from the other movies, brought him back and did shit with him. Now Charles Cyphers is old as fuck. It was pretty clear he couldn't do a whole lot physically. So I guess that one I'll let slide. But that everyone's entitled to one good scare. at the end, in the big mob fight scene, horrendous. Doesn't fit. Doesn't make any sense. And Marion Chambers died way better in H2O. Like that was the opening of H2O is the best part, and she's a good deal of why. And like that dumb line, like I picked on before. This is for Dr. Loomis. When the gun being empty would have worked in something like Jason Lives. Like that seems right out of the when fucking the dude from Ghost and McLaughlin's wife encounter him on the way to the camp or whatever. Like beat wise, it's pretty similar. It would fit there, but let me tell you something. Come here. This ain't fucking Jason Lives. Not by a long shot. This one's a little nitpicky, but the scream that came from Laurie's mouth when she took the painkiller injection sounded like she was being fucking stabbed by Michael. Like with a butcher knife. Not administering a standard shot of painkiller. Like was a needle. And another line, I didn't throw it in there, but it makes the pain go away. Why the fuck was there a pumpkin in the closet? Like they open that closet and then blow a pumpkin up, Cameron and Allison. What the fuck was that doing there? Like he could just shoot. She could just shoot nothing. It doesn't. And also male pattern baldness Myers is no bueno and totally killed the climax of the movie even before it happened. Although if they do make an action figure based on male pattern baldness Myers, it'll absolutely be the only one I own. And the whole bedroom window plot line, it just seemed kind of silly, very contrived. It deserves to go here for sure. But as long as Karen actually is dead, I'm willing to cut it some slack. And I love Judy Greer too, so this is really saying something. Like if they go through and have the balls to say she's dead, 100% dead. It's not like Officer Hawkins where, we were able to save him because it all happens the same night. I can cut this a little bit of slack. I think like the biggest misstep though in this whole fucking shit show is that nothing happens in this movie to further the story. It's like, so now you have one final movie, supposedly, to wrap up everything? Like, one final fucking thing in less than a year's time at this point now to resolve everything. Unless they're just cuckold liars, which... That's not going to be the last movie, is it? Fuck! With that out of the way, I guess. I mean, I'm going to jump out a fucking window. We got to get to the MVP. And really, it's not a tough choice. It's Michael Myers. There's not a lot to say, really. I mean, they made a pretty dog shit movie. I would really go so far as it was just dog shit. Other than a few weird little locomotive things that I've talked about, like the way he moves and shit, it's a little too quick. It's like they cut like a couple frames out, or maybe it was his choice. I don't know what the fucking answer is. It's like stilted isn't the word, but I can't think of a better one, which is a theme, I think, in this. It's the anger. But I said in 2018 he did a great job, and now he's the only thing here that's great. So it's more of the same from him. James Jude Courtney, Excellent fucking job, dude. Brutal kills throughout. When Michael was on a roll. Some of the shit was a little silly. He kicks the door on a lady who was shooting a gun at him, firing a weapon at one point. So he kicks the door and it knocks the gun, you figure if the door hits the gun, she's got her finger on the trigger. That's going to fucking, let that off immediately. But it hits her in the gun and somehow she turns all the way around to shoot herself in the head. It's nonsensical and stupid. You didn't need that. Frankly, I think it would have been cooler if that didn't happen. He kicks her because she's shooting at him, so she gets close enough. He kicks the door, fucking fires, off. He gets out of the fucking SUV or whatever the fuck it was, the van. I don't know. I don't remember. Who cares? It's not fucking important, And then he stabs her or whatever the fuck, strangles her. That'd be fun. Nice little strangulation. Nothing wrong with that. If that's good for fucking Charles Lee Ray, it's good for Michael Myers. But other than that, I like pretty much everything about Michael in this movie. Kill of the night, Michael's kill of Cameron. It's kind of fitting for what a hunk of shit he was in the last movie. It was real brutal, and he just fucking kind of takes his time with it. And then the more Allison pleads for him to stop, he seems almost like he's having fun going, no, keep going. What are you going to do? So I like that. That was cool. I listed him surviving in the last movie as bad. But at least they rectified that. Also, as an aside, it was great to see that piece of shit Oscar in the morgue. But, what did you guys think? I'm very curious this time to know. Please let me know. Did you like it? Did you love it? Did you fucking hate it? Maybe you were middle of the road. Maybe somehow this was a middle of the road movie for you. But I would love to know. Please, fucking tell me how wrong I was in the comments down below, or agree with me and praise me. Tell me I'm good. I don't care, but I'm interested for sure. I just want to know. As always, you can grab merch. I have a new Off the Grill NWO inspired logo. Off the Grill.store. Pick that up or pick up the podcast logo shirt there. That thing is on fucking anything you can think of pretty much. Tumblers, mugs, face masks. As if you wouldn't know if I just said face mask, I suck. Literally, like fucking everything. So go ahead and check that out if you want. There's some good shit there. Decently priced, moderately priced, I'm not trying to fucking get rich off a sale. So check that out. Check out patreon.com/offthegrill podcast. I've got plenty of things going on over there. I keep forgetting to upload it, but I'm going to be kind of live reacting, but recorded the new Chucky TV series on there for all levels. Levels 3 and 5 get to watch me as I watch Roseanne, but you're able to watch a lot. It's fun. Whole lots of fun. I love that show, and I think you can kind of see it. I don't know. But I do, before I go, I want to thank my lovely Patreon sponsors: Big Crack Rock, Christian Hannah Horror, S'mores Indoors, Nick Ridza, Jay the Stingray, Jess Graham, Orc145626, Daniel Shine, Lauren Dixon, Mr. Bombastic, RetroCac, The Daily Ghost, Slaughterport, Ben Yukinevich, and Brian Trash. That'll do it for me, though. Until next time, Iris loves you.